So Peter, remember that little discussion we had a while back about whether the Ku Klux Klan could be considered terrorists? And I gave you this book, and you couldn't answer that question. So I tried to help you out. I gave you the title of a book. Remember the title of that book, Peter? After Appomattox, How the South Won the War. Now, I gave you that title, and as soon as you read that, How the South Won the War, you created a pretext. And your pretext was that you were not going to read any book putting forth a theory that the South won the war. You feigned false indignation. Now, here is a little picture on that book. See that, Peter? Those are hooded white men. That's the Klan. This book is about the Klan. So the man stated a thesis, how the South won the war, and then in this book, he completed or supported that thesis. And within this book are a lot of acts of what happened after Appomattox. I mean, even if you know in history what Appomattox symbolizes. So anyway, which you cleverly did and effectively did, and I've seen it before, is that you stopped the discussion with false indignation. I am not going to read a book about how the South won the war. Well, that's interesting because you seem to support the values of the party of racism. That's the Republican Party, the party of racists. How do I know that? Well, every time you get a chance, Peter, you put forth or extol the values of the racist party. So, your most recent foray into that atmosphere is the Borelli girl, Deen Borelli, and I called her a self-loathing black woman. Now, I would know. I mean, my mother was black, my aunt's black, my sister's black, okay? You know, my cousin is a black woman. I mean, I'm talking all black women, okay? So I know a few black women. I think the only black women that you know are the ones that you put out in front of the Keep It Real band, okay? But here's the thing with Deen Borelli, okay, is that the party of racists typically like to put out in front black people that will do the dirty dealing. And believe me, my friend, there is no shortage of black people that will go out there, okay, and serve the master. And what you do is that every time you see the opportunity to put for these serving the master black people, you put it right out there. Now, you know, I've called you a vulture culture, and I don't think you even know where that comes from. I didn't make that up, okay? You know, you can get back to me and let me know if you know where that phrase comes from. And then we could have another discussion about that on another day. But Deen Borelli is a self-loathing. Now, she's not alone. Now, she wants to talk about American exceptionalism. Look at, man, there's no such thing. So she's false. What she's only doing, and she's using the talking points of the GOP. That's all on the right wing, okay? The alt-right, the racist, the white nationalist. That's what she's doing. She's serving the master, okay? There's no such thing as American exceptionalism. I've been halfway around the world, and believe me, there's no such thing. You can go to Australia, and they'll tell you, get out, yank. There's your American exceptionalism for you. And I look at American exceptionalism as the same way as I look at, you know, manifest destiny. It was created. It wasn't a thing. It was a fabrication so you could go and eliminate and subjugate and exterminate the indigenous people of this country. And that's, and he named it Manifest Destiny. So American exceptionalism is pretty much the authoritarian way of saying, if you're not with us, you're against us, okay? Great way to get along in the world. But there's your representative for that. They find Deen, Borelli, to come out and talk about Kaepernick. You know what? Who gives a shit? All right? The national anthem is a symbolic song. What do you want to do? You want to gather in the beer garden during Oktoberfest? You want to sing German war songs? And what do you want to do? You want to wave the Stein back and forth? But no, Peter, I got to look it. Here it is, okay? You're an authoritarian. You believe in authoritarianism. I don't know if that's how you raise your kids. I don't know if you're with the belt and the stick, spare the lash and spoil the child. I don't know. But when it comes to black folks, Peter, you're an authoritarianism, okay? And when I get the vulture culture thing, I say, you don't mind the dancing and the singing. You're okay with that. But once a black man or a woman exercises their rights, okay, you want to tell that person to get in line. Don't get uppity. Stay in your place. You must obey. Those are your words. You must obey the police. Those are your words. And I paraphrase a little bit. I'm not going to go back in my timeline to look up your thing. But that's who you are, Peter. You are an authoritarian. You believe in authoritarianism. Who else believes in authoritarianism? The right wing. The alt-right. Get in line. You're either with us or you're against us. Donald Trump. And you know one thing, Peter, you haven't revealed what's your political flavor. And that's a trick. That's much like a trick as truncating a discussion about whether the Ku Klux Klan were terrorists or not. Because if the book says how the South won the war, oh, well, I don't agree with that. You don't agree with that, but you don't realize that everything that you put forth is the message of the South, and the South is still fighting the war. They never gave up the war. Slavery was never a law, and there is no law in the Constitution that says slavery is outlawed. Go look it up. Find it. Please, get out your Constitution and show me where it says what statute, what amendment says slavery is outlawed. You show that to me. Now, as far as Miss Borelli goes, my friend, she's not alone. There are plenty of self-loathing, self-hating black people that the right-wing Fox News can parade out. I'm going to give you a few, okay? Off the top of my head, J.C. Watts, Alexander Keys. Hold on, let me get this. I'm kind of mixing up my names here. J.C. Watts, Alexander Keys, Ward Connolly. Now, these are people you don't know about. Because, see, they've served their purpose. Back in the day, before everything was on Facebook, these are the people who are out carrying the flag for the master, okay? Carrying the flag for the right wing, okay? The conservatives, your party, the grand old party of racists, okay? You have Stacey Dash, of course you know about her. She was more recent. Ben Carson, out there carrying the word for the master. You black folk, pull up your bootstraps. Kind of hard to pull up your goddamn bootstraps when they don't have any damn boots. All right, here's the one that you'll love. Sheriff Richard Clark. Boy, is that a self-hating black man right there. Juan Williams. See Dolores Tucker. You don't know who she is. She served her purpose 10 years ago, and you have not heard from her since. And this is what happens. They get the blacks to come out there and serve the master, what we would call the house Negro, okay? And they come out and they serve and they put forth the word of the master. And the ideology is that, see, black people, these are your own people telling you what's going on. We are not a monolithic people. These people do not speak for me, okay? Reverend Jesse Lee Patterson and Larry Elder. Now, and there's a whole community of black folks. I'm not going to tell you who they are. I'll let you guess. Here they are. Here they are. Here they are right here. Let me go ahead and put this one down. That one. These are a whole group of black conservatives. How the hell do you get to be a black conservative? Well, you did well in life, you made some money, and most of these people are professional people, lawyers and doctors like Mr. Ben Carlson, okay? And then you're persuaded that, well, we have to protect our wealth. And so they go over to the side of the Republicans. Here's a little story for you. Charles Barkley was a Republican until he figured out that the Republican Party was not for his people. Charles Barkley is not self-loathing, okay? Charles Barkley loves black people, as do I. And this is why I'm not taking offense with this. I'm just telling you, every time you parade one out, I'm going to call it what it is. And even, if you go as far as self-loathing people, there's all kinds. The Korean girl, Michelle Malkin, she's a self-loathing Korean. Her people don't even want anything to do with her because she's self-loathing and self-hating. But it serves her purpose. Now, having said that, I'm going to go take a look at your response. And I wasn't looking for a debate. I'm just telling you, I know. I'm credible in the subject. And whenever I see anybody a black person on Fox talking about what black people are doing wrong and what they should be doing that is right, according to the authoritarian right wing, that's a self-hating black person. My mother, God bless her, she would never do that. My cousin would never do that. My aunts would never do that. So, brother, you keep balling them out there, and I'll keep calling them self-loathing and self-hating black folk. Hey, have a good one.